This hour, attorneys for Kilmar Abrego Garcia are in federal court, once again fighting his deportation, but this time to Uganda. His attorneys say that's where the Trump administration is now threatening to send him. The father of three became the face of President Trump's immigration crackdown when he was wrongly deported to El Salvador in the spring. He was brought back to the U.S. about 2 months later to face human smuggling charges, and a judge ordered his release as he awaits trial. But after ordering him to report to an ICE facility in Baltimore, ICE detained him again. Here was his message to supporters.
To all the families who have been separated, or to all the families who have been threatened with family separation, this administration has hit us hard. But I want to tell you guys something. God is with us, and God will never leave us. God will bring justice to all of the injustice that we are suffering.
Let's discuss with an immigration attorney on Abrego Garcia's case, Rina Gandhi. She is a partner at Murray Osorio. Rita, thank you so much for being with us. After Abrego Garcia was taken into custody by immigration officials in Baltimore, your team filed a new lawsuit urging a federal judge to order his release and to slow down his removal process. What's the basis of your argument?
Well, the basis is that there is a process and a procedure to remove someone to a third country, and they have to be given the opportunity to explain why they are unable to be removed to that third country, which it's clear that this administration is really trying to avoid.
Why is it you think that the administration is trying to avoid that?
From their own words, we're planning to deport him right away. You know, they gave us 72 hours notice. That ends today. Without this filing, I believe firmly that he would have been on a plane, despite our filings.
Your team also claims that Kilmar had until this morning to accept a plea in exchange for deportation to Costa Rica, and he turned it down. Why is that?
That is Kilmar's choice, whether he, chooses to be intimidated or how he wants to proceed, and this is what he chose to fight.
Understood. And I wonder, as the team presents the judge overseeing the case with notices that he has a fear of being sent to Uganda over concerns about torture and prosecution, what are those fears based on?
Well, I think, we have to look into why Uganda and what agreements have been made there by this administration, by his country, and by the government of Uganda. But also it's a country he doesn't know. He doesn't speak the language. His English, as you saw in his press conference, is not great. Where is he supposed to go? What is he supposed to do in Uganda?
And what has been the response so far that you've gotten from the courts?
Well, there is a hearing. It's actually happening right now with the courts to determine, what our next steps would be. I presume to give both parties more time to respond would be the very next step.
Is the expectation that he is going to be deported no matter what?
Absolutely not, and I think that's why we continue to fight and why he made that choice not to take that plea, to plead guilty to something that this administration, is pushed forward for, but then is trying to remove him before there's an answer on.
This may sound like the same question, but I promise it's not. I wonder what his argument is for being allowed to remain in the United States, not necessarily for getting deported to Uganda or Costa Rica, but for just staying in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, I think we have to look most recently at what's happened to him when he went to El Salvador, and whether those are, as we would argue, changed circumstances for why he should be allowed to pursue relief here in the U.S. And there are reliefs available to him, asylum, adjustment, there are reliefs available. They do take time and they do take going before a court. And so we need that time to be able to do so.
I wonder what he has shared with you about that ordeal, including his time at that Salvadoran prison, Secot. What has all of this been like?
I think his family has suffered immeasurably, and I think it will take many years, including therapy, for him to move past what he suffered. He released his statement about what he went through our filings, and I think they speak for itself. I mean, he suffered unimaginable hardships, physical harm while there.
Rina Gandhi, we have to leave the conversation there. Please keep us posted on how today's hearing goes.
Thank you.